Hi guys, I'm Bryn. I'm a motion control operator and cinematographer here at Tasty Studios. I'm in our workshop space that is next door to the studios. We use this area to build sets, to store props, to store all our lights, and I usually have the robots set up over here so while there's paying customers next door, we can still be working on and developing for our robots. So one of those things that we've been working on lately is using them to work more effectively with CG environments, specifically green screens. So yeah, let's dive into that. Obviously you get all the normal advantages of using a robot, such as being able to do super complex moves that you couldn't really do any other way because maybe there's like really critical focus or it's moving so quickly or just really precise moves. You also get the repeatability, so you can then layer up different layers of footage on top of each other. Obviously when you're shooting on green screen, that is really useful. The third thing is you have a camera that is completely aware of where it is in 3D space. This gives us the ability to link it to 3D software, and what I'll show you today is a bit of a live comp of our CG environment and our real environment that we're shooting. So when I'm building a move on a robot, you're basically dealing with keyframes. And so you're saying the first keyframe is at, the camera is at X, Y, Z coordinates, and it has a pan, tilt, and roll attribute. So I set that, and then I move the camera to a second point, which has a different X, Y, Z pan, tilt, roll attribute. And through curves, the camera will then work out how to get from one point to the other. So that's basically what motion control moves are in a nutshell, which is very similar to what a CG camera does in software such as Maya or Unreal Engine. So because these work in similar ways, we can actually link them together. A good friend of mine, Bryn Morrow, who is a VFX supervisor, a really experienced VFX supervisor that lives in Brisbane, has been working with me a lot lately with the robots to better understand how we can meld these two worlds together. The real life stuff that the robot shoots and then the CG environments that he deals with all the time. So our approach isn't to capture final pixels in camera, which is what more of an Unreal Engine thing is, and we are actually working on that ourselves as well. So there'll probably be another video about that later. But this one is, this workflow is more to give an indication, a bit of a previs of what is happening, what is going to be happening later. So everything can be changed, finalized, and refined at a later date. So it's giving the post-production an incredible amount of flexibility to what they can do later. So here is some footage from our test day. I'm going to show you what it looks like just on green, what just the CG camera is seeing, and then what a live mix of this looks like. So again, not final pixels, but an incredible reference to what can be really refined later. By streaming the positional coordinates from our motion control robot, we can then drive a CG camera and have a live preview of what's actually going on. This really helps building the move, because if the script is referencing something in the background or if there's a digital character, our real life talent can have some reference on where their eye line should be, where they're looking, and it generally helps everyone on set. Because our robot also knows where focus is, the focus and the depth of field of our CG background can be effective. This gives cinematographers an idea of how depth of field is working in the shot. One of the main requests coming from VFX post-production facilities is to have industry standard 3D data file formats. So with the motion control robot here, we use FBX camera track information. So this is basically a file that is an industry standard file that gives all of the positional data, lens data, etc. of our real life camera move or our CG camera move. So we can either import a camera move that's been generated in 3D software, or we can build a move with the robot and then output this same FBX file into 3D software. This really standardizes the pipeline from post-production to on-set, or from on-set to post-production. We can also make creative decisions, like if we don't like a particular background in a scene, we can just spin it around and shoot into a different part of the 3D set. So as you can see in this footage of me, the director has said, you know what, I don't want to be looking into that back corner of the warehouse. Let's spin it around and let's look at this part of the set. So that's basically the live preview on set. You can see how useful that is. Another thing that our system can offer is the use of hand wheels to have live operating of the robot. There's a lot of reasons why you want to do this. Sometimes an actor may not exactly hit a mark of a pre-programmed move, so you can have an operator that is just correcting the pan and tilt to make sure it's framed correctly for where that actor may land. It also gives more of a less robotic feel to the move if someone's operating it. It's not quite perfect, which, I mean, these robots always do like perfect moves. Sometimes the script calls for a slightly imperfect move. So an example of using the pan and tilt wheels, you can see here I've done a move, and it's just basically the camera doing a track and a bit of a lift. You could say it's like almost breaking a dolly move down into two parts. So I've built the track and the rise, and then on the second replay, I will play the track and the rise, and then I will add the pan and tilt to this, as you can see here. So this is such a powerful set of tools, because that means I have the perfect 3D track of what we've just done. So I can spit out an FBX file with that information in it. I can have a live preview of a CG action behind this whilst I'm operating on the hand wheels. And it is just a really powerful workflow for working with live actors, but with motion control robots. Okay, that's it for the video today, guys. Please hit the subscribe button, because I'll be having a few more videos coming out in the future. Thanks for Tasty for letting me use all their gear, and thanks for Light and Motion for letting me use all their lights and cameras. Hopefully see you again.
You sure you can handle